Hey guys, how you doing? Steve Laugh here. On this job here, I got a call from this guy. Works at the fire department. And he knows I work on air conditioners, so he had called me. I guess a relative of his had put this system in. He had a system in his house that was working fine, and this guy said that he wanted to put a high efficiency system in for him, and he put a York, I think like a 16 SEER Infinity high efficiency system in there, and the guys had problems ever since the thing was put in. Every year it would be out of Freon. It was always giving them problems. So, the guy wouldn't go back anymore, and he asked me if I could go over there and see if I could figure out what's going on. So I went over there last year. I put some Freon in it, and I sniffed around with my H10, and it was definitely going off in the evaporator down low. There was a leak in the evaporator. So I told him, I said, this thing's probably still under warranty if it's within 5 years. So I ran the numbers, and the inner coil was under warranty. So I ended up getting another coil for the guy and switching it out. Um, when I went back, I had nylogged everything last year. And when I went back to pump it down, the king valve was leaking by the O-ring a little bit. So I pulled all the refrigerant out of it because it was kind of low on refrigerant anyway, and I was gonna, put a nitrogen test on everything and see if I could find any more leaks. When I changed the A coil, the evaporator. So then when I got it up and running again, had a problem. My superheat was probably like 35. It should be around 10 on my superheat. So I was thinking that that thermal expansion valve was bad also. I should have changed it when I changed the coil anyway. But the guy, he says, well, is that under warranty also? And I told him no. He says, well, let's try using the old one. But sure enough, thing bit me in the ass. I had to go back and go back a second time and get another thermal expansion valve. But after I put that in, it was fine. It ran okay. It was holding the pressure and everything. When I backseated the king valve, it didn't seem to leak on the pressure. So I was able to pull a vacuum, get a vacuum down on it, and got the refrigerant back in it, and we're up and running. So we'll see what happens with this. I hate to walk into problem jobs. Seems like every York unit I work on is a fucking piece of shit. They're all leaking, and the microchannel. This one was a copper coil, but the guy cooked the king valve on this, and it wasn't his fault. The evaporator was leaking, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of York because all the flipping leaks I see. Everything I come across is a leaker, a leaker, a leaker. Makes you say, what the hell? I see some of these old systems that have been out for 50, 60 years and they're still running. How come the new stuff can't run like the old shit did? It's ridiculous. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video.
Pump it down. Pressure in there. Leaking right out of there. That ain't good. There could be a leak right there too. I got one of these at home. Definitely leaking there too. Turn the temperature down so it runs. It's running inside. You don't hear it running? You put it on cooling and turned it down? That's why I'm pumping it down. I'm going to change the evaporator. I'm going to put an air test on this. See if I can adjust it to stop that leak. If not, I'll have to change that valve. Most likely the valve's going to go. I gotta change this coil. I was here with my H10 last year and it was going off. So, look at this, they run half inch line. Half-inch condensate lines. It's not a joke. Alright, let me get it apart. Nice hanger. It was my leak detector was going off way on the bottom down here. But we'll change this also. I gotta reuse that expansion valve there. Got another one right there. I had to come through the garage access. That was a bigger opening. Thing barely fit. Alright, let me get this in there. I'll take that TXV off. See all the oil there? That's all refrigerant from it leaking. See all them bubbles? It's all refrigerant from it leaking. Oily. Wipe the pan out good with a rag. Get all that muck out of there. There's 4 little tabs you gotta bend out, and then there's 4 screws that hold the front edge on. Back just sits in a groove. New one just comes with this back pan. Definitely had air in it, so that's a good sign. I'll use nylon on the fittings. The TXV's all in. I did all the connections with nylon. Now I can push this unit back in, and I want to make sure nothing's hitting here on the tubes. Make sure none of the tubes are hitting, rubbing together. Before you put it together, make sure nothing's rubbing. You don't want none of the tubes rubbing together. It slides in pretty easy here. Got it going up. The liquid line coming back, the suction line, I got it off, so it's coming out here. Tightness test. Just change the TXV. Let's see if that's okay. I had to change the TXV. Put a new one in there with a new coil. This is a 16 seer. They want the bulb either at 10 or at 12 position. That's what the other one was. So I put this one. New coil. The other one was leaking. 4 years old under warranty. York. My dryer up here. I just put a pressure test on it. I'm pulling a vacuum now, and we'll get it checked out. My subcool was 12 and my superheat was 35. So I'm thinking that TXV was bad, so we'll put a new one in there and try it. It's looking a lot better right there. Yeah, right around 12 is what I want. This will be my subcool. That's right where I'm at. It's good. Always nice when you get a tip.